stream today. I just want to quickly talk about the Pope Francis rumors, and then I do want to talk a little bit about Cardinals, potential Cardinals. So the first thing with the Pope Francis rumors is that once again, there's more rumors that Pope Francis is going to resign. Okay, we've been through this for the last like 8 years, so I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think he's going to resign. Now with the people are saying, yeah, he's ramping up to resign because of the health issues, and there will be three popes. Okay, whatever, we'll deal with that one. All right, I'm back. I hope this isn't a problem. The rest of the live stream. So anyway, let me know if you can see. Let me know if you're able to watch this live stream because for whatever reason it was disconnected. I saw there was an internet guy working on the lines. So yeah, let me know in the live chat if you can see me. Anyway, Pope Francis, there have been rumors that he's going to resign, and there has been a rumor about how he would knock out the. Oh, good, you can see. Okay, good, thanks. There has been a rumor that he would knock out this Pope Emeritus title that Benedict has used. So I think that with the with all this resignation talk and everything, people are going to say, okay, Francis will resign, then there will be three popes, and then Pope Francis will have his hand in different things and whatever. Um, I don't really know where the rumor necessarily started, but I don't think there's a lot of truth to it. Um, Now, as for the Pope Emeritus thing, I think it's great that if he would knock it out, I think that's great because Pope Emeritus is not. I don't think it has any place in the Catholic Church. If a pope resigns and he goes back to the College of Cardinals, the precedent has been set in previous eras. So I think that would be a good step. Now, so as for those resignation rumors, they say, okay, his health isn't doing great. Um, and I think Benedict is a prisoner in the Vatican. I think that's pretty fair to say at this point. I don't see any reason that would not prove that assessment to be true. The only thing that would prove that to be true is if Benedict would speak up about Summorum Pontificum, or Pope Francis' new motu proprio, basically abrogating Summorum Pontificum. And if Pope Francis eliminates the Pope Emeritus title, then if Pope Benedict doesn't speak up at that point, well, what do you know? I mean, I think that would prove he's a prisoner in the Vatican. I mean, not that it hasn't been. I think there's sufficient evidence to suggest that he is. So that's the case with that. Now, moving forward, I think, moving to the next topic, I think that if his health really is a concern, then there will be another consistory of cardinals, and so I want to go through that today. Pope Francis. So let's take a look at statistics here. Um, Pope John Paul II had 9 consistories of cardinals in his 24 years as pope. A lot of those cardinals were pretty terrible, I would say. They included McCarrick, Bergoglio, a bunch of other horrible cardinals. And in 8 years, Benedict had 5 consistories of cardinals, and Francis had one every year since 2014. So pretty much every year of his papacy. The most recent one was in November of 2020, where Cardinal Gregory, Wilton Gregory, was named cardinal. Now I want to take a look at likely cardinal candidates here. The Congregation for Divine Worship and Discipline of Sacraments, the prefect for that is Archbishop Arthur Rocher, who is particularly rotten. He hates Latin Mass, and he is Cardinal Sarah's replacement. So he'll probably be named a cardinal. And the Congregation for Clergy, Archbishop Lazarus Yu Huang Sik. He's an archbishop. He's from South Korea, and he's a prefect for the Congregation of Clergy. Now, I don't know much about him. There's a link in the description. It says he has made multiple trips to North Korea on behalf of the South Korean Bishops' Conference. That's particularly bizarre because I would think that anyone of faith would not be permitted in North Korea. And knowing that he's a bishop, well, I don't even see why they would let him in, but that's just me. It just seems kind of fishy, kind of shady. But anyway, we're talking about so those are the two prefects of congregations that are not cardinals. That they probably, I mean, in all likelihood, they will be made cardinals, whether it's either this year or next year. And if Francis' health really is in jeopardy, another consistory of cardinals is certainly coming up very quickly, very shortly. Now, I think there were, as of the retirement ages and everything, the required retirement age necessarily, but whenever the cardinals become ineligible to vote for the next pope is when they turn 80. And so I think the limit was 120, although they were over that limit, and Francis exceeded that limit several times. And it's still over 120, but that's not going to stop Francis, especially if he does feel his health is in jeopardy and if he's moving forward as quickly as he did with the anti-Latin Mass motu proprio. Then we will see another consistory of cardinals very quickly, and that's why I want to do this video today, because September, October, November, those months are right around the corner. November was the last consistory, but um, we'll see what happens in terms of naming new cardinals. He could do that very quickly, very shortly, if he wanted to. So those are two names right off the top of the list that are very likely. Now, there's just some random names I found, and I didn't do extensive research of all the bishops because there's no way. I don't think anyone knows every single one of the bishops in the entire world. But there are a few notable names. Now, I've seen Archbishop Mark Coleridge of Brisbane, Australia. I've seen him on Twitter. He has some particularly heretical things to say. He supports LMNOP. He supports women's ordination. And he is the president of the Australian Bishops' Conference. He's 72 years old, and so this would be a good time for Francis to appoint him as cardinal. Not a good time because we don't want cardinals who oppose the Catholic faith, but this would be unsurprising because he supports everything that isn't Catholic, and so that's going to be the theme among the potential cardinals here, is that they support things that aren't Catholic. Of course, there's bishops in the middle of nowhere. Francis will just randomly appoint some of them as cardinals, which could be our hope. These bishops from the peripheries, because not all of them. I don't think all of them are outright heretics. I don't think so. Some of them might have supernatural faith, especially whenever it comes to the Catholic faith not being as popular as maybe some of the local religions. So, but anyway, we're moving on to Germany. This is, particularly concerning. We have Bishop Georg Bachtzing of Limburg, Germany. He's the president of the German Episcopal Conference. He's the one who was moving forward very quickly with the German synodal path. He's 60 years old, so very young. You could lock in the Francis Church for another 20 years by naming him a cardinal. He recently met with Pope Francis, and apparently Francis encouraged his synodal path for Germany, so that's pretty terrible. Bishop Franz Joseph Overbeck, he certainly made a lot of heretical statements, and he's just someone to keep maybe an eye on as well. I don't know how high up he is. He's 57 years old, so very young for a bishop. Bishop of Essen, Germany, and he's the vice president of the Commission of the Bishops' Conferences of the European Community, so he's pretty involved with Europe. German synodal path bishop. I believe he said something about LMNOP blessings, about how he would support LMNOP blessings. So he was one certainly German synodal path, and so we'll see if there's any German synodal path bishops that get promoted to cardinal. Cardinal Marx is certainly one of them, and there could be more. And it's interesting to note Archbishop Georg Ganswein, who is the he is the what would you say, the jailer of Pope Benedict? He's the spokesperson for Pope Benedict the 16th, the translator, I guess is what he's called, and he's 64 years old, but he's still an archbishop. He's not a cardinal. And I don't know that he gets along with Francis very well, so I don't know about that. But it's interesting to note he's not a cardinal yet. So I don't know if he ever will be named cardinal. Moving on to the USA, Wilton Gregory was named cardinal just last year. So I don't know if Francis has the United States on his radar or not. But with this recent Latin Mass document, restricting the Latin masses. The USA has a lot of Latin masses. It's one of the most traditional, um, well, one of the most the largest areas that offers the traditional Latin Mass. So I don't know if this is the most Latin Masses in the entire world in the United States. I don't know. But uh, Francis could name another cardinal to try to crack down on more Latin Masses here. And if that's the case, then he would look to appoint another cardinal from the United States. Like I said, I don't think it's likely, but I have some candidates here now. Archvirus Bishop John Wester of Santa Fe, New Mexico, would have been a likely candidate, but now there's a possibility he's facing an investigation. There have been 4 instances where people have reported abuse to him, and he has ignored it. So I don't know. Maybe he might not be likely to be named a cardinal, but he certainly has a background. He supports LMNOP. He shut down his diocese for an extensive amount of time. Extensive virus protocols. Very anti-Catholic, and he's 70 years old. So he'd be the ideal cardinal in the Francis Church. Speaking of ideal, Bishop Robert McElroy. I talk about him all the time. He's I would say he's on the list of the top 5 worst bishops in the United States. He could be the worst. I think it's between him and Stowe, to be honest. And some people might say Supich, and they have a good case if they would say that. Now Supich has more power than Bishop McElroy or Bishop Stowe. Bishop McElroy's background: he was named in Vigano's letter. Vigano said that he was promoted to bishop because of the influence of McCarrick, and all the McCarrick all the other bishops named in Vigano's letter are cardinals. At least the ones that he mentioned: Supich, Tobin, and Worrell, Farrell. They're all cardinals, and so McElroy's the only one that's not a cardinal, or not necessarily the only one, but one of the few named in that document that's not a cardinal. And I've been waiting. I mean, I've been expecting him to be named a cardinal. Now, he was on the Amazon Synod committee. He was one of 2 bishops from the United States on that Amazon Synod committee or whatever for the Amazon Synod, and I think it was him and O'Malley, Cardinal O'Malley, if I'm correct there. But so he's definitely on the radar of the Vatican, and I'm expecting him to be promoted to a cardinal. Now, he's just a bishop; he's not an archbishop, and I don't know that. Would he be promoted to an archbishop position first? It seems like pretty much archbishops get promoted to cardinal. I'm not entirely sure how that works. I know the Pope can make anyone a cardinal. He can make a priest a cardinal, and he has. So, but Bishop McElroy is 67 years old. He's certainly on the radar of Rome, and I do expect him to be named a cardinal. If he's not, I'll be shocked. He's not even a good bishop. Yeah, absolutely not. He said he's one of the worst. Archbishop Paul Etienne of Seattle. Here's an interesting one. So yeah, Archbishop Paul Etienne of Seattle. He is an up-and-comer in the Francis Church. So he's 62, very young, but he's an archbishop, and that's a prime candidate to be named a cardinal. Now, will he be named this year? I don't know. Francis is still Pope next year if if he lives into next year. That certainly got to keep on the radar. He put a high school principal on leave of absence after the principal fired 2 teachers for entering into LMNOP marriages. So he's LMNOP bishop, Rainbow bishop, and he's also a Biden bishop. He signed the letter, or he signed the Supich's document stating not that the USCCB should not move forward talking about denying communion to pro-abortion politicians. So he's one to keep on the radar as well. 62 years old, pretty young. Move him up to cardinal, and he'll do a lot more damage. And so someone that a lot of people have on their radars is Archbishop Nelson Perez. Now, he hasn't done a whole lot in Philadelphia, but people are wondering. He's 60 years old, very young. So people are wondering how he got promoted to the Archbishop of Philadelphia position. And he did do something in Philadelphia. He chased out the nuns, the traditional Carmelites in Philadelphia. They moved back to Lincoln, Nebraska, after pressure from the archdiocese to say the potentially say the Novus Ordo. And there's some thunder outside, thunder and lightning show. How about that? So I gotta see about what that's gonna bring. Anyway, sorry for that. Sorry for that. I'm just a little surprised. It's been sunny all day. Archbishop Perez, um, he potentially put pressure on these Carmelites to say the Novus Ordo. So we'll keep an eye on that situation, see what's going on. And here's a big one. So there have been about five or so. We're switching continents. So we're switching to China. There have been about five or so bishops appointed by the Chinese government. So the Chinese patriotic bishops, there's probably around five of them. And this is the disastrous Vatican China deal. So the Vatican and China came to this agreement because the underground Chinese church was being persecuted by the Chinese government. The Vatican came to a deal with the Chinese government that the Chinese government could appoint their own bishops, and then the Vatican would, and then the Chinese government would forward the bishop's name to the Vatican for approval and all this stuff. Yeah, right. The Chinese government is appointing their own bishops. The Communist government of China. When has that happened in the history of the church? When has that been valid? So I don't know, but that's certainly a potential for promotion to cardinal. How many are any of these patriotic bishops going to be promoted to cardinal, or even the bishops that were recognized in China? Are they going to be promoted? They're recognized by the Vatican in China before the Vatican Chinese deal. Will any of them that are loyal to the Chinese government be promoted to cardinal? I think it depends on what the price tag is. If the Vatican or if the Chinese government adds another $500 million to that agreement, maybe we will see them. So that's something to watch for in the future. In the near future, I believe. And that's a prediction. I don't make a lot of predictions on this channel. And that's one of my predictions is that within the next several months, we'll see a new consistory of cardinals. With Pope Francis, I don't know if his health is concerned. I don't know if doctors are concerned about his health or not. But if that's the case, and if he's moving forward full speed, then we will see a new consistory of cardinals. And if he does this communion for Protestants thing that has been rumored, then I don't know what's going to happen with that. But um, you know, it'll be interesting to see. So we got a comment. I want to see the money up front. Well, we're not. And we haven't seen the money. We don't know the deals. We don't know if there's any financial deals there. So I comment. I'm starting to wonder if Francis is a commie. uh, I mean, you ask the questions. I'll leave it open ended for anyone else to draw their own conclusions. But when we talk about all religions are equal, we talk about the miracle of sharing in terms of the five loaves and two fish. We talk about all these principles. you know, what can you say? But there's a lot of stuff coming up. I got a lot of stuff on my EVTN list for. Usually I do Mondays. Monday seems like a good day to do EVTN. But yeah, just the news cycle does not stop. And maybe within a few months, I mean, it seems like within a few days my videos are irrelevant just because I'm talking about news. And then there's so much new news. And yeah, they seem to propagate bishops who demonstrate. Let's see here. They seem to propagate bishops who demonstrate the greatest hatred of the faith. Yeah, yeah, that's how it seemed within recent months. I mean, at the beginning of Francis's pontificate, he was appointing bishops from the peripheries, so third world countries, and they were from the middle of nowhere. No one knew who they were, and that's our greatest hope. And I said that at the beginning, is that some of these bishops from the peripheries may actually have supernatural faith, and that is our hope. Because if we can get one of them in the papacy, then maybe they'll return to the Catholic faith, and maybe they'll start promoting the Catholic faith and bring back tradition. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it could be worse, but it could be better. It could be a lot better. And so And could it be much worse? Well, if there's a formal schism, here's the thing. Um, and Ryan talked about this on the video recently. Is that he believes there is? He says, "Is this not schism?" And I don't know. I mean, what's it going to take? Communion for Protestants? For all these priests and bishops to say, no, I can't do that? Is it going to be women deacons? I don't know. So, anyway, that's what I have today. Thanks for watching. There were technical issues at the beginning, I believe. I don't know what that was, but yeah, hopefully that's good. Hopefully this was a good discussion. Hopefully this was a good video. Um, and that's all I have for you. So thank you so much for watching. We are the laity. We will not be silent.